Well, hi there. Warm welcome. You're watching Blueprint Exclusive with me, Meghna Deka. Let's get you the story of Nidhi Gupta of Lucknow. A trained beautician unfortunately met a similar fate like Shraddha. She was pushed to her death from the 4th floor by her jilted lover, Sufiyan, who was finally arrested by the police today. When the police tried to nab Sufiyan, he opened fire at the policeman, sustained a bullet injury in his leg, and then he was caught by them. The police, remember, had announced a bounty of 25,000 rupees on Sufiyan after he allegedly murdered Nidhi for not marrying him and converting to Islam. In fact, we have spoken to the police as well. The police are saying that in the FIR that the family alleged that Sufiyan had blackmailed them with videos and photographs of Nidhi and threatened to make them public. Listen in.
यह आरोपी उसके अबैंडन पार्क के पीछे छिपा हुआ है। उसमें पुलिस ने घेराबंदी कर उसको पकड़ने का प्रयास किया। तब उसने पुलिस पर फायर किया, जिसमें पुलिस को भी आत्मरक्षा फायरिंग करनी पड़ी, जिसमें कि आरोपी के दाहिने पैर में चोट आई है। उसे उपचार हेतु ट्रॉमा सेंटर लाया गया है।
The family, meanwhile, demands nothing less than a death penalty for Sufiyan.
मुझे बहुत संतुष्टि मिली है, काफ़ी संतुष्टि मिली है। मेरे मन को तसल्ली हुई है कि मेरे बेटी को आत्मा की शांति मिलेगी उसको, कि जैसे उसने उसका किया वैसे उसका भी हो। हाँ, और दूसरी चीज़ कि बोलते आगे से लोगों को सीख मिलेगी, लेकिन अभी इसको ये सज़ा नहीं मिली है। अभी उसको सज़ा भी मिलनी चाहिए, कड़ी से कड़ी सज़ा देना। फास्ट ट्रैक कोर्ट के चले उसकी क्या बोलते हैं, उसको सजा होनी चाहिए। कुछ कड़ी व्यवस्था करनी चाहिए उनको, शासन को, सरकार को, कि आगे इन लोगों की हिम्मत ना बढ़े। हिम्मत बढ़ती जा रही है आए दिन। आज मेरी लड़की के साथ हुआ है, कल किसी और लड़की के साथ में होगा।
Well, in fact, let me go across to our guest joining us today on the show, Shriraj Nair, spokesperson with the VHP. Majid Hyderi is joining us, a political analyst. Majid Hyderi, is that true? In fact, the Deputy Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh says that there is a conspiracy which is on against Hindu girls, and there is selectivity of the lobby which does not see this.
Well, madam, a Muslim man murdering a Hindu woman doesn't mean that Islam and Hinduism are at daggers drawn, because very recently in Jabalpur, Abhijit stabbed to death one Shilpa. And what these cases have a message here. In fact, I want to tell my VHP brother on the panel that this is the time for us to unite for a cause. That Hindus and Muslims unite and seek ban on live-in relation. Because actually the live-in relation is the new cause of this kind of crime in the country. We don't need it. I request Honorable Dr. Mohan Bhagwat also to seek a ban on live-in relation. भगवान श्री राम की धरती पर ये रिश्ता नहीं चलेगा. That is my point. This is the main cause of this new crime in the society.
It's quite interesting how you're trying to restrict what people want. In fact, they weren't in a live-in relationship in this case. But let me go across to Mr. Shriraj. Majid Hyderi saying just because it's a Muslim man killing a Hindu girl doesn't mean that it is because of faith.
See, madam, had it been a straight instance, then it would have been definitely what Mr. Majid is saying, I would have agreed to. But the issue is this has been going on for years together. And in last 2 years, I have a list of nearly 30 girls who have been brutally and barbarically murdered. In Mumbai, just where I am live from, a girl fell in love with a bakery Muslim guy and he chopped her and filled her in gunny bag and threw in sea. And nearly 30 to 35 girls have been brutally and barbarically murdered. Somewhere there is a larger conspiracy. The problem with the Muslim, and I would rather blame, because Muslim leadership, they have been doing politics, but at the same time they have kept their people backward, uneducated, and they are more into crime. So there is and love jihad. What we have been saying for years together. Now things have been proved. See the girl's mother. Now Mr. Majid might be having a sister or a daughter. Everybody should understand what kind of, and the way the girls have been killed and chopped. So somewhere there is a larger conspiracy. This boy is shot. He should have rather. These people should be getting the punishment similar to what they did to the victims.
Quick word, Majid Hyderi, don't try to cover up. This is not an isolated case. It's part of a larger conspiracy. 30 to 35, the VHP is listing.
My dear brother, you cannot blame a community for the weak laws. Unfortunately, the weak laws in our country which are failing to safeguard the lives of the human community. Should I remind you, Jana Sani, what happened in 1995 when she was burned, cut to pieces and then burnt in tandoor? We know it by famous tandoor murder case. What happened that time? Was there any madrasa involved? Was there any Islam involved? Any love jihad involved? Any triple talaq? Any halala? What was that?
It was a stray incident. But this is not a stray incident. This is a regular phenomenon now. Understand the Tandoor murder case, definitely the perpetrator was a Hindu, the victim was a Hindu. But here in this case, you look at the last 2 years. So,
crime has nothing to do with religion, please, brother. Crime has nothing to do with religion. Should I remind you of Bilkis Bano, what has recently happened? That Gurmeet Ram Raheen has been released. There are some loopholes in our legal system because of which these criminals get strengthened. And our women communities at stake. We need strong laws. We need inspiration from strong laws. Let it even be inspiration from Sharia.
There are already laws which are in place, however. Majid Hyderi, there are laws in place. What kind of laws do you want? You want a law against live-in relationship of adults. That aside, we are talking about the larger conspiracy. Do you think it is the silence of the larger Muslim community, the leaders in the community, which has been one of the problems, as the VHP is alleging? That was the question.
Madam, there is not a single case where the
Hindu boy
such a crime
Muslim
was
girl,
given a
it has never
punishment. The legal course takes a lot of time, and then finally these criminals get released. At the end, what happened in Nana Sani case, what happened in Jessica Lal case, I mean, we have so many cases to tell you. In all these cases, never ever was the criminal given a capital punishment. Unless you have hard laws, strong laws, this process will continue.
And as you know very well, Majid Hyderi, the Jessica Lal case, the Tandoor case, these are very different cases, because in this, there is definite charges which are coming in that there was pressure on Nidhi to convert, that she was hounded for her faith, which is why you cannot compare this to the other cases that you are trying to cite and try and perhaps mislead. However, I appreciate you coming here on the show, Majid Hyderi, as well as Shriraj Nair here on Times Now. With that, a short break. Don't go anywhere.